Music.
Brick by brick by brick by brick by brick.
I own 100% of Barstool Sports. The sun, the moon, the Milky Way. It is getting so close, I can taste it. We can take a bite out of it. This is exactly, and I mean exactly, why Barstool Sports has to exist. It has to.
All right, it is Monday, September 18th. We are coming to you live from Barstool, New York. Today's episode of Barstool Radio is brought to you by Stacker2 Energy. Loud and aggressive and straight out of the Attitude Era, Stacker2 is the OG in the energy and supplement space. Stacker2 chew gummies have more caffeine than other gummies while being small in size and price. Stacker2 chew gummies and energy shots are designed to give you maximum energy while tasting amazing. Stacker2 B12 10,000% energy shots provides 10,000% of the recommended daily value of vitamin B. Stacker2 Chew Energy Gummies are a bite-sized burst of delicious energy that help you take on whatever comes your way. And you want to know why? Because this shit hits! Buy Stacker2 Chew Energy Gummies and B12 Energy Shots at Dollar General, where you can find all your favorite Stacker2 products, or go to Stacker2.com. We got sponsors, boys. Got to get that money, baby. Let's go. Barstool Radio, onwards and upwards.
One of the first times I've ever been on a show with an ad read.
Congrats, Tommy. There you go.
It's not my thing.
Story?
I mean, yeah. It's kind of my thing. I'm the unsponsored king.
I was going to say, we've broken the streak, man.
Tommy will not sell out, dude. I respect that.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I just make art. I don't make art. I make art.
All right, let's dive into it. It's another week here at Barstool Radio. We got plenty to talk about today. I think we'll start with the big story from the end of last week, which is Mike Babcock. I believe right here on these airwaves, it was the great Rear Admiral who proclaimed this just another hockey story that was going to just be swept away. In a couple days, he'd be fine. And all of us kind of scratched our head like, it sounds like you're on Mike Babcock's side here, Rear Admiral. And then, sure enough, NHL launches an investigation, starts to snowball. All of a sudden, TSN, a guy from TSN reports that maybe his job is in jeopardy. Then everybody believes it. And next thing you know, Mike Babcock steps down before he ever coaches a game for the Blue Jackets. Now, of course, it was done. If you look at the press release, it was done in such a way. The GM said, we want to get back to focusing on the players. Mike Babcock says, it was obvious I was going to be too much of a distraction. Never admitting any sort of guilt. They never will. But come on. Nobody resigns from the job when they are innocent. Nobody resigns under their own, free will. That was the team being like, you got to get the fuck out of here. And if you want to salvage any sort of face, just go. We'll say you're a distraction. Let the players do their thing. But, I mean, this is as close to full 100% vindication for the Chiclets boys as possible.
I would guess so. That RA call is crazy.
I'm so happy you guys all picked up on it too, because I was like,
was he like on the opposite side of business?
I wouldn't
wasn't
say
here
he was
that
on
day,
side.
So he was on the opposite side.
No, I would think sides is strong. Where he was just like, it's a nothing story.
Yeah.
And he also, in his defense, it was a little more, because he did say, like every other NHL story, it'll just go away in 2 days.
Yeah. Right.
So his point was more like, these things happen. They stay in the hockey bubble. It's not a big enough league where it becomes an issue, and I think he'll be fine. I can understand that logic. My very point, though, was like, if I am talking about it, and I'm into it, and we're doing this on Barstool Radio, yeah, right. You're right. No one's ever talking about hockey.
Yeah.
If we're talking about it, that means there's something bigger going on here, on top of it being biz and wit. It just was like, I said it right away. I was like, this guy's done.
It's
pretty fucking weird.
The situation
so
I've referenced
weird.
a million times with it is the Mitchell Miller with the Bruins, where it's just like, it got bigger than hockey. He wasn't even a player on the team. Like,
it's not worth
Babcock kind of same deal. Like, it's not some legend from the Blue Jackets organization. It's just like, it's the new coach. What's the point of? And Babcock has a history of it, and Babcock has.
He has a history. He's in a fucking.
I think he got like one cup with the Red Wings. The Red Wings were the fucking Red Wings at the time. They hadn't missed the playoffs in like 25, 30 years or some shit like that. And then he went to the Leafs, where he made Mitch Marner. That's an all-time move.
I didn't know it was Mitch Marner too, who at the time was like fucking leading the league in points, right?
He was. I mean, like I don't remember. It was probably 3 years ago, so he was a little young. But I mean, he's definitely like had the tools to be what he is now, and he made Mitch Marner rate his teammates' work ethic.
From like 1 to 10, right?
And then told him he wasn't going to show it to anybody, and then had a team meeting to show everybody what Mitch Marner rated.
I feel like Dave might do that here.
Yeah. Honestly, it's a
I have a
diabolical
feeling
move.
Days we're back at home, like reading all this stuff and being like, oh, you can't do any of this shit. The fuck is this?
I mean, my thing. Maybe it's because I know them, but people being like, they made this up.
That
is
was
fucking insane. Like,
I love the guy who was like, then made offensive jokes. Shut the fuck
yeah,
up.
get the fuck
Even
out of
worse than lies.
They brought this up. It was
can't-
Whitney went back with that. I forget the guy's name, but he's like a Pittsburgh former radio host, I think.
Mark Maron. No.
Wait, not Mark Maron, but like
But it is
it's
like
that.
And I've seen that name and that his little Abby pop up.
Yeah, it makes
over
the
years.
Liverpool Football Club look really fucking terrible.
He sucks, dude.
But Whitney's response to him, because Whitney quote tweeted him was like, "I used to get along with this guy.
Yep.
He's kind of gone off the edge, blah blah blah." And the guy was like,
Just a bitter old man.
Yeah, and he's like, "Are you?"
Mark
oh yeah.
Madden.
He
Mark
replied,
Madden said,
"Are you?"
the Spit and Chiclets crew ain't reporters. Zero journalistic experience. My sense is they got hustled by the anti-Babcock crew who blew something legit and okay out of proportion. Not sure what the fallout's going to be. Probably zero.
Yeah. and he replied to Whitney, "Aren't I guess you must be disappointed in how your hockey career turned out." And Whit was like, "Yeah, no fucking shit."
I love that. Yeah, so I mean that was as like honest as it gets. Mark Madden being like, and that's such a cop out. Like you're just deflecting now.
Yeah.
Like now you're.
Then
just
he went on to
straws.
correct grammar.
Oh, that's the worst. That's the absolute.
That's when you know you're losing an argument.
Yeah.
No, it's over. You know.
It's not defer, it's infer, idiot. Like I definitely used to do that. And
I did laugh when he said defer.
Yeah.
And the
well,
Chiclets
I mean-
boys are trying to, they're swimming in the deep end now. trying to be journalists. Here we go.
Yeah, they're definitely not two guys who would just make things up for
But yeah,
a headline.
I guess I put the disclaimer like because I know them, because I would say like who would make something up like that, and like we've seen enough in this world where like someone just completely fabricating allegations is not outside.
But you know what the insane thing was of it all was the journalists who were like, "I'm suspicious of this," which is fine. Be suspicious. That's what a journalist does. But like before you send the tweet, why don't you reach out to one of the players on the team?
Right.
Because they would have. It seems like they would have been like, "Yeah, it happened.
This is what's happening." That's how it started. The players were the ones who offered it up, and I loved Biz's tweet at the end of it all yesterday. He said, "We are for the players, and if you come for the players, your day will come." Because, like, it almost when the Players Association was coming at the guys on Chiclets, it almost was like making them the bad guys, and it was like they are voicing, like they never came up like the players came to them.
Right.
Just handed it. They were affected enough and hated it enough to go to them and just offer it up, for no reason. So, like, those guys were doing the absolute right thing in that situation. And then to have the hockey world, who is, like, just filled with white knights, be like, this is fake. And, just from a point of view of your own reputation, if that's me and I've got to decide, I got to put something out there, a tweet, an article, whatever, I got to take a side here. Just like use your fucking brain and be like, do you think that Ryan Whitney, who all he wants to do is just like crack jokes about hockey and play golf all day, is going to insert himself into a
massive scandal?
I guess it could have
privacy
been
scandal?
a.
Like, get the fuck out of here.
What is it?
You're gonna make it up?
In Curb, it could have been the producer situation where Whit was like, "I'll make something up. I'll get run out of town. I get the golf ball."
Yeah.
When Larry David does when Mel Brooks has Larry David do the producers, be like, "I'm just gonna get this fucking thing canceled."
I've always thought it's weird how the hockey media is so like anti-Barstool, like social
Yeah, but I don't, like, here's the thing with
SJWs,
that,
when
like-
and the hockey players are like the exact opposite.
But even what we're talking about now, I saw 5 tweets. Like I'm sure there were more, but like the hockey media, like Darren Dreger didn't doubt this. Fucking what's his name?
No, I'm not saying as a whole, but there's like a lot of people in the hockey media, I feel like, through the years who have always like gone at Barstool.
Just like, there's always going to split on everything. Like, I think
his point is that the hockey players are like almost a part of the story of Barstool. Ryan Whitney and those guys spreading it through hockey locker rooms. They were the first pro athletes to like embrace the stool, and you would just think that a sport that like embraces the culture that much, the media would recognize.
If you were doing like percentage of athletes in a sport that are stoolies, hockey is
far and away. And you would just think out of like, just it would be the smarter play.
I would venture.
Or also just like if you're around the sport, it just seems like you like hockey, like those type of guys.
That's why what's so funny is the hockey media in general is the opposite of players. They always come across, at least the ones we hear of. I'm sure there are.
Yeah,
I
would bet the
there's definitely
the same
exceptions.
as the locker rooms are. I would bet the percentage is like 80% like it, 20% don't, and it's.
They're just a really vocal minority.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't.
It just seems more so than like any other sport. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
And I also think I'm thinking about like probably 10 years ago now, where there was like a slew of like month after month there was these guys crying about all different politically correct nonsense, and then got exposed to be complete creeps, and it was just like, what is the hockey media? Like, who are you? That was a long time ago. I'm sure there are plenty of journalists who are like cool with those guys. All that shit's true, but there's definitely still.
I mean, Biz works on TBS. Like, it is. Oh, my bad.
There are definitely guys who don't like Biz and Wit. That's a fact,
Yeah, but there should be, like, of course, like, I wouldn't want 100% of people to like me. Like, it's.
Yeah. I think those guys are like, what's to hate about them?
They're like, there's. I obviously
think just
I love Biz and Wit, but like, there's jealousy.
That's what I mean.
There's some people who just don't gel. I think that I get the like you want to rub people's nose in it who doubted it, but I would bet a vast majority of people were like, this is a little fucked up. Let's find out about this.
All right, Rear Admiral, let's calm down.
I'm not saying like I just think like it's just how I like would prefer. I'd be like, yeah, most people believe me, and I think I would bet most people did.
What was the Uber video like 5 years ago?
That was a big one.
Why does
the guys on the Senators, right? They were.
How did Chiclets factor into that? This is like giving me flashbacks to that
It
story.
rings a bell now. Yes.
I think they were like. I think they posted it or talked about it. No.
Or was it the opposite?
I think it's the opposite.
They were like. Oh, they were
nothing.
protecting the players.
Like, I honestly don't remember. It rings a bell, but I have no clear memory of it. But yeah, it must be. It's crazy to have ever doubted them. I just like to believe that most people believe them.
It's just one of those things that's like the details. Like, you think you made up this picture thing? It's so weird and specific, If it's just like people make up stuff all the time about like sexual assault allegations or violence, like it's just like cookie cutter things to be like, let's make up this story about Mike Babcock going through camera rolls. Obviously, it's going to be fucking true, you idiots. So they're on their.
Tommy and Feits are out of order skit on Babcock.
Oh my God. That was, by the way,
Thanks, Meek.
Chiming in with no mic.
I think I was going to say he's going to Meek a mic or something.
We I think officially might have a little Meek cam going.
Yeah.
Meek does this thing where he gestures for you. Feitelberg said it best. Over the weekend he texted me. He said he's like our sign language interpreter. Yeah. Talk and Meek goes like, does all the hand signals for you. So.
And by the way, we haven't been back on radio since it happened, but confirmed drank bourbon lemonades with
Yes.
Mom.
Yeah.
Why would
you know
lie
in the
about
moment?
that? Wait, give him a mic. Bro, you for sure knew that you did that.
No, I did not.
Bro, I saw you, the way you were acting, I was like, is this guy lying about
No, why would I lie about something?
I don't know.
So I
You're
texted
like,
Quigs
I'm
because I
like
was
the
like,
hockey
Quigs.
media here. I think you're lying.
I was like, Quigs, was this just like a Quigs lie that I sent Barstool Radio? He was like, no, I'm 100% positive. Make him search the word lemonade in his text
That's
messages.
diabolical, by the way.
And I did that, and when I made you do that, I did see like a guilty face like start to form on you.
Because after radio, I got home and I asked my mom, I was like, Mom, did we ever have bourbon lemonade before? It's like, oh yeah, back in like July. I was like, fuck, now I have to explain this shit.
I mean, that is fair. If you were lying about that, you're a danger to yourself and others.
Oh,
That's a crazy.
I think it would add to the Meek lore.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'd never lie intentionally to a coworker.
That
That can't be true.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
take that
that's-
back. I'll lie intentionally with a coworker all the time.
that if you were lying about that and we find out somehow that that's like your big lie, I mean, it would be so fucking crazy to go down for that lie. Bourbon lemonade. That, you know, add it to the like the Barstool lore, like you said.
Tommy, you look good today.
Thanks.
You're sitting normal.
Well, I think having pants on is a big
Huge.
Pants.
Huge. You have those weird.
What was that? What did you just whisper? What did you just whisper? You want me to return the compliment?
Huh?
Why'd you whisper?
No, I whispered that I lied to a coworker.
Oh, fuck. Walked in. I was about to think, you know, this color does look kind of good on me. I mean, you tweet, it's hoodie season.
By the way, Grinnell just texted me that they did confirm they didn't post the Senators video.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Because they were protecting the players. So I'm pumped to hear what that Chiclets episode will be like because I mean, Biz was running hot on Twitter, being like, shut the fuck up. So I feel like the victory lap. It's crazy how fast things move, by the way. Like, I think they haven't done an episode since, right? I think because
I think they do one a week in the off season.
The first one since everything developed and then obviously came to fruition. So get ready for that. And yeah, your guys' Babcock skit, I just was gushing about it on KFC Radio. Mostly Feitelberg and Pabs, not really you, Tommy,
Yeah,
but you did a good job too. How quick that kind of stuff can go now, I think is a big. I think that was like a moment for content.
I'm laughing about you saying you don't like the kissing coach.
So funny, so good, dude. Fights going. Why is the kissing the thing that's bothering me? It was, if you haven't seen the skit, Out of Order is Feitelberg and Sass's comedy sketch show, and it is so fucking funny. Every month, the second Wednesday?
Second Wednesday.
Second Wednesday of every month, it drops 4, 5, 6
not the
skits in
third
a show.
Second.
Okay.
And then this week they were able to write, film, edit, and put out a Mike Babcock skit in like 12 hours. I don't know, whatever it was. You did it at night. You posted.
Yeah, I mean,
Greer sent a text. Greer gets the writing credit. Greer sent a text like, you guys should do one, and then kind of just. That was Thursday night, and then we probably did it Friday.
I hadn't really
Friday
heard about
afternoon,
this story because I was off radio that day, and Fights was explaining it to me. I was like, I don't know what the fuck he's talking about, but okay.
Yeah, dude, I was saying it's kind of like Feitelberg has the old school Barstool mentality of like 30 blogs, a blog every 30 minutes, and like if a story is over a day old, it's dead. But that usually applied to like just banging out shitty blogs or whatever. To shoot, to write, film, star, shoot, all that shit in less than a day and have it come out that good and that funny, I think is a major deal. I think that's like changing the way people are going to look at how they can do content. Because, you know, a lot of people could do like a social media video like that real quick, but to have it be like a properly shot and like high def video is fucking nuts. So
Shout out Pavs.
yeah, Pavs is an absolute.
It did make Dave laugh.
Yeah, you must have been like, I actually, because we went out after it, like I didn't even get a beer. I was so what you would think I felt like 3 days before how I feel now. And I left pretty early, but by the time I got home, I went home and I fell asleep right away. And I woke up to see that Dave tweet. Were you still with the boys?
I was still with Trent and Nate at the bar when they sent that, and yeah, I mean I left. I was like, I can't get any better from here.
You really? Older Costanza?
Yeah, I was like, what else? How can tonight get any better? I headed out.
Did you really leave?
Yeah, and then I rewatched it a few times trying to pinpoint the moments where he might have laughed. Yeah, he might have laughed at this point. He might have laughed at this.
What do you think? What do you think the 3 spots that Dave and I left at?
I don't know.
Because I was shocked. I went home, I fell asleep, and I woke up to that.
Dude,
and
if I were to pick, like, I would think he would hate it, like Lemon Party and like that sort of stuff that we laugh at. That I'd be like, oh, Dave hates that shit. So the fact that this was the
he's always liked, I think though, just like timely things maybe. And just NHL.
Always unique like that, yeah.
Yeah, he likes.
No, I feel like whenever people put, I don't know.
Fuck up, Tommy. I can't believe you left.
Dave likes so timely.
I feel like he's
one of those weird
that
guys.
quick turnaround of video, like from a business perspective, not from like a.
Yeah, but if he said that, that'd be one thing. He said this made me laugh.
Yeah, I guess we just made him laugh.
The fact that you left a social event because your boss said I laughed at something.
Yeah, Nate's there. He can.
You got. Is that true?
How quickly?
Tommy left because of Dave's tweet?
Oh, yeah.
What was like your? So what happens? Like Tommy reads it and says like, guys.
I'll side with Tommy here. Like he's so obsessed with Dave. What's hanging out with me and Trent gonna do for him that a Dave tweet's not gonna do?
I guess so, but that's
He
a
had to
little
go
weird.
jerk
That's a
off.
bit- That's a bit much, dude. That's a bit much,
I don't
Tommy.
see how.
Going home.
Wait, he said to you like Costanza, like I'm going out, like thank you, good night.
The timing was suspicious.
So did you guys know in the moment? Were you like, did he just leave because of that?
Kind of put 2 and 2 together.
I was like, why am I hanging out with Nate and Trent when Dave thinks I'm funny? I gotta get to fucking
Simple
11.
Trent
I have to get to 11.
Bro.
What do you expect from? I like it. It's
You're right. You're right. But even by Tommy's standards, I'm like, for real? You just left hanging with the homies because your boss tweeted about you? Yeah, unreal. So 2 things about that. I think, like I said, I think being able to flip something that quickly and that funny is the sort of thing where people go like, oh shit, you don't need a week or a month or you know, a long time to do these things. You can do them fast. And 2, if I'm you guys, I find a way to make sure that Dave Portnoy never sees another skit again.
Yeah.
I get on his phone. I would block the words out of order. I would block your names.
I think he just thinks I'm in out of order now. That's like the one thing he saw. So he's like, oh, Tommy does that.
That's it.
Like, great. Add that to my list.
The last thing you need is he's like, oh, that Babcock shit was funny. Let me go watch this one, and it's like some dumb gay stuff. And he's just like, I don't get it.
That's why I was surprised when you said gay so many times. I thought I was surprised. Like Dave likes that. It is
like I can't imagine Dave laughing about Lemon Party.
I know.
That's like the joke, like the kind of
It was
stuff
the
that would be
acting.
like, oh, that's weird, you know? But your first impression with Dave is everything for a content series. Like in his mind, he is programmed in there now, being like, Out of Order is good, and all the Reddit feedback and all the stuff that he reads has been good. So like, it's probably ingrained in him now that Out of Order is a good product.
That's good, but I mean, like we just said all this on KFC Radio. Where like I would rather Dave never see it again, and like chill.
Yeah. No, I mean, and it's also,
don't show Dave. Don't.
I mean, unless you're Tommy, like one guy tweeting, this made me laugh, is not by any means. It's a big deal for, I think, people at Barstool. It's not like, oh, Dave said it's funny, the whole world's going to watch. It's more like, oh, if Dave thinks that your thing is funny, he'll support it or whatever. You know what I mean? He won't go out of his way to fucking trash it.
It's a very fun thing to do. I would like it completely off Dave's radar.
No, that's the most fun things are completely aside from the other big.
How many times do you think he watched?
Oh yeah, you didn't answer. What were your what do you think?
I don't know. I couldn't. That's what I was struggling with. I couldn't pinpoint the points. I was like, oh, he definitely laughed here.
Yeah, it is.
I can't think of like one.
No.
That's why it's
You only
so
have to laugh
weird.
the whole time.
Yeah,
The whole thing. Also over the weekend, I mean, in terms of Dave's type of humor, this actually ties in nicely. I don't know what the Chicago boys were thinking with that Jersey Jerry bit. Because that not only had zero chance of working, because Jerry is like a small, big man, and like, if you had to try to dress up one person to look like a woman, like he's the hardest one on the planet Earth.
Yeah.
It's like Frank and him. But even if it worked, that's the kind of shit that he hates.
Well, so
was
the
like-
plan. So I was riding over with Big Cat to do advisors, and they mentioned, they were like, oh, we have Jerry in a disguise, like behind a camera, like he's gonna have a mask on and like sunglasses. Like I thought he was gonna be a man, and like in a disguise, which I like think maybe could have worked. Like it just would have drawn less attention to him. And then the plan was for like Jerry to early on like. Ugh. Like when Dave gave a pick, like you'd hear like the camera was like, ugh, dumb pick. And then just like carefully ramp it up throughout the whole thing until Dave's like, what the fuck is this camera guy's problem? And then when I got there and I saw Jerry was dressed as a woman, I think everybody, I mean, and they all realized quickly too, they're like, yeah, there's just no way this is gonna work.
I mean,
Well, I gotta come clean. With something.
oh no. Tell me you were duped, John. Tell me it was your idea.
No. But I do have a text I sent to young Henry Lockwood Saturday at 12:34. I got to be honest, I've seen Lady Jerry on my timeline a handful of times and never once realized it was Jerry. I'm shocked Dave knew.
Are you being sarcastic?
Hank replied, "Are you being serious?" It was, dude. Like,
Wait, what do you mean?
Wait, are you being serious?
I'm being dead serious.
You saw like a picture?
I saw, yeah, like I don't know, like I'm scrolling Twitter, so I'm not like
that picture right there?
I saw him in the blue Q-zip.
You didn't think that was that
you did not know that
sound any alarm.
like
your antenna didn't go off on that?
It's like when I'm scrolling Twitter, dude. I'm not like I wonder if Jerry's gonna be dressed like a woman at some point here.
I mean,
I'm just like
that's
scrolling,
fair,
and
but
like,
if you were,
I guess, but like the cap.
I wasn't like, oh, hachi bachi. I was like, it's.
But okay,
Did you check off to that?
picture, dude? I was gonna say, that's concerning. But even put that aside, like, fine, you weren't thinking that on the internet. If you were embroiled in a rivalry with Jerry, and were thinking, I'm returning to a show that he tried to replace me on, they're probably going to do some dumb shit, and you saw that, you wouldn't be like...
I didn't realize until right now there was a rivalry of sorts.
He replaced Dave. Dave wasn't on week one.
Everybody
was
squashed
like...
the beef this week.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
it's been like, who's better for advisors?
Right.
Who gets more views?
I see. Okay. I have seen Jerry promoting it as like, whoa, look at all these views. I didn't realize why he was doing that. Okay, that makes sense.
So he's going to be looking for something anyway.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
it's this.
Look, but I'm with Hank. I saw the clip where Hank was explaining like Dave's got a million things on his plate. I can 100% see. I'm kind of shocked Dave recognized.
Really?
Yeah.
I
can see him being like, I don't know, there are a million people back there.
Well, also she was the only woman like in the like.
First of all, how often has there ever been a short, stout woman cameraman at Barstool shooting?
Well, there are like in that. So it's like a rented studio space. So there are people there that don't work.
Right, but
that, work for the space. So it's,
okay, put it this way: if you wanted to try to disguise somebody, your hope is that it goes under the radar. At the very least, you're going, "What the fuck is that woman?"
Yeah.
Let me look. What is she? Like, so no offense to Jared, but he does not make a very attractive woman. So at the very least, you're gonna be going, man, that camera woman's disgusting. So you're already looking, you're already like,
The mask and everything. I don't know. Like, again, obviously, if I'm in the room, someone
even his size and his height, like,
if
you walk into
a person,
and if you walk into a room being like, all right, they're gonna do a prank with Jerry, like, oh, there he is. That's him. Like, whether he has a wig on or not. I think Dave is more like. I mean, he's sick in the head. I think he's like never been pranked. You know what I mean? Like he's always ready for someone to try to get some shit on him. Has there ever been
that's what I was trying to think.
moment of
what was his like?
He just pointed at Jerry. Was like
he goes, let's do the
he's
bit.
like the jig is up. Like let's get this over with. Like what are we doing?
Dude, like I look at that, I'm not like, holy shit.
Okay, but if you're in that room and everybody else is a guy with a black fucking sweatshirt on, and then you see her, you're like, well, this is different.
Out like a sore thumb.
Yeah.
If they disguised him as just a different dude, it would have had a better chance.
Yeah, I think it would, and probably maybe a camera further in the back or something.
Yeah, he's just standing in front of the tripod.
Like I think
his leggings on. It's just like the whole thing is like, what is this?
Isn't there a picture in the Q-zip of like, I don't know why I keep saying Q-zip, but whatever.
Out of quarters?
Yeah. In the quarter zip, like a lot. I think it was a lot of game left. Like, is that in the thumbnail? Because I saw the picture a lot, and like I wasn't like, holy shit, that's Jerry. I wasn't like actively looking. I was just kind of scrolling, but it was. I never did it grab me and be like, what's Jerry doing?
Watching the behind-the-scenes video of Jerry getting makeup done. At one point, he didn't have a wig on yet, and he just had like this brown yellow look to him, and I was just like,
Willie's guys is this.
Yeah, that creeped me out. Even before, like, oh, the lips were just like, oh my god.
That's a lady lip.
I mean, that is a woman who is.
I could be duped. I'll put that.
That's it.
That's that's fuck.
That cannot dupe you.
That could dupe.
Bro, what kind of idiot are you?
I'm not. I don't pretend to be a
Jersey
genius.
Jerry.
That's fucking. I don't think that's obviously Jersey.
Are you?
Bro, that is
fucking with us right now?
exactly like Jersey Jerry.
I only know
What
Jerry
part
with a
doesn't
beard,
look his
dude.
entire face?
You know how easy it is.
So if Jerry just shaved, that's it?
Yeah.
Because
If I don't see
he
looks there, I'm like woman.
Hey.
I mean, that was, and I don't know if I don't know if there's any video of Jerry on the record.
You're not covering up jowls. Probably a lady.
Jerry was immediately like, I knew this wasn't gonna work. Now, was he like that?
Yeah,
prior?
I saw him before, and
he was like, oh no.
he was like, I don't know about this.
Okay. Because that's an easy thing, like once it blows up, to be like, I knew this was a bad idea, and it's like, oh, well, you were right.
I think everybody, Hank, I think everybody saw, once they saw the finished product,
no
they were like, yeah, this isn't going to work.
Was the mask always the plan, or was the mask added late to be like?
I think that was always.
I feel like they was? Because I was going to say that might have been like the last-ditch effort, like, okay, this is very obviously Jerry. Let's just try to cover his whole head. I mean, the mask was like, but, you know, even, again, my point is, even if it, like, quote unquote worked, that's the buffet of bits is the legendary Barstool Idol clip of Dave being like, I hate this kind of shit. Any of that, like, scripted, goofy,
out of order sketch.
That's why I'm so
Lemon party.
But that is a lot of what, like, I feel like Advisors is a lot of bit.
Yeah,
right?
that
it was obviously.
Well, he always.
mode.
I mean, yeah, that's sort of the battle between Dave and Stu. Stu was yelling about sucking clit while his wife is 20 feet away in the room, and Dave is like, "This is a pick show.
Yeah.
Like, I'm here to do picks."
It is funny how much Dave. I mean, Dave is the one who, like, I learned about Stu through Dave. He was always telling me about, like, the early '90s when he did the show. And I guess at that point, Dave found it funny, but I feel like now when Stu's going off, he's always just kind of like sitting there like, are you done yet?
Yeah. Oh, it's also, there's certain things where he's like, let's not get us canceled.
Right. Yeah. Right. I mean, when the famous Thanksgiving food fight was going on, or not even food fight, when Stu was just bathing himself in blueberry pie and shit, was Dave there?
Yeah, I think he's been there probably every year but last year.
Was he just like?
I think he was smirking at that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that was.
I mean, Stu with a blueberry pie on his face. That's just common.
He turned blue. Yeah. His skin turned blue. It was like so deep in his skin.
That was when we were in the old office, right? And there was like a fire. Or I don't know. It's been the first year we did that in the old office. There was a legitimate fire because Stu knocked over the catering thing.
Oh my God. I just remember there's a couple times in my mind when we tried to do like scripted stuff. When we were driving to the Super Bowl, we passed, I think, a sign that said Atlanta, but it was like a different Atlanta. It's like Atlanta, like Illinois or some shit. I don't know, whatever it was. And we were like, let's pretend, like, I don't know. Hank like kind of came up with like a skit for it, and we tried to film it again, and Dave be like, huh, like, did that say Atlanta? And like, whatever the skit was, and me, Dave, and Dan did it, and it was just like, okay, never mind. like Hank was like, okay, just forget about it. It was so bad.
We
that
tried
sort
to.
Of shit does not work with Dave and the OGs.
The one I always remember is we tried to. I don't even remember what was said, but it was when we caught Pirate Simon downloading the pirate porn. Someone said something that was so fucking funny, and we like erupted into laughing, and cameras weren't rolling, and we tried to reshoot it, and Dave was just like, nope. And
that little fucking weasel Simon came up to me at the award show, because I asked John about this. I said like, hey, like, thanks for coming, man. I know like things were wild for you there. Like, I was just like, thanks for having a good sense of humor about it and making this moment. You know, as an original Barstool person, I appreciate it. And he's like, yeah, no problem, blah, blah, blah. And like, what the people don't know, we filmed that 3 different times. And I was like, you did? And he was like, yeah, you know, it's like movie magic. And I was like,
no, we
so I
did
texted
not.
Feitelberg and I was like, did you guys like fake that? And it was that, you know, you tried to do something fake and shut it down right away. But the movie,
and he did download Pirate.
That
part isn't movie magic.
I haven't seen the finished product. I don't think. Like, I'm 99.9% sure the reshoot, because we were like, no, never mind. This
didn't work. Yeah, that's why I think what you.
It wasn't a reshoot. It was just one single line where we were like, that was so funny that I don't even remember who said it. But I think it was Lou. Someone said something, and it was like everyone erupted, and we tried to reshoot it, and it was just like, no,
nope, doesn't work. That's why the shit that you guys do is very impressive, because there's like nobody else here can really do that. Even like I feel like I could have done some like acting better like before Barstool. Like once I've just been doing basically like reality shit for like 10 straight years, I can't fake it even if I wanted to. So the way you guys can do it.
Yeah.
Tommy's pretty good at it.
Yeah, I like to act.
Yeah, it's fun.
It's fun.
It's always fun to pretend to be somebody other than you.
Yeah. I had to play a pro hockey player.
We also had the great storming the field debate of 2023 this weekend, courtesy of Jack Mack and Coach Prime and Colorado. So Colorado beats Colorado State for their big in-state rivalry. After all the shit talking, they have a big comeback. They win in double OT. There's dirty hits. There's trash talk. The whole nine. Feitelberg said it best. He was like, I felt like I was watching.
Remember the Titans?
Did you stay up for that whole game?
Stay up for the whole game? Like
Yeah, what the
3
fuck? 10 o'clock?
Yeah.
I mean, I know
I fell
probably they
asleep by the
made the
third
schedule
quarter.
maybe before
It went
Jan was the
very,
coach,
very
but
late.
like,
It was crazy. But between that, I said if you watch the game, they did like a bit on how, or a segment on how Colorado State wears like auto body shop shirts in the locker room, like they're blue collar. So like blue collar versus Lil Wayne literally performed before. They had like white safeties making cheap hits. It was like, this is Remember the Titans right now. This is amazing. The game was awesome, and I think that's all I have to say.
and then so
Oh, yes.
so they win the game, and Colorado fans and students storm the field. Jack Mack's point being like, you were the heavy favorite. I think they were like the heavy favorite.
Yeah,
It was
23-4,
Yeah,
yeah.
23-point dog
Yeah.
or favorite. They win the game that they're absolutely supposed to win, and Jack Mack says, is nothing sacred. I think Dave chimed in and said he disagrees. The internet was kind of split. I know a lot of people were coming at Jack Mack. I think I'm somewhere in between, where like everything he's saying is true, and I do think the sanctity, if you will, of storming the court or the field, needs to kind of be preserved, because all of a sudden, if you do it all the time, like it does lose its luster. But it doesn't have I think it should be reserved for like you beat number one or you have a big upset.
Rival.
But then a rivalry
I think it's
is
just a
different.
case-by-case basis.
Yeah,
I think like you
it's like
can't.
a feel. It's just a
I think
vibe.
you can't almost decide before the game unless you're like a big underdog. I almost think you can't decide before the game like this is or isn't storm.
Well,
like,
listen.
I think before
you're
the
playing number one
game,
team in the country, and you beat them, you're gonna storm.
Right. I think
if you're
before
a
the
heavy
game-
underdog, you're gonna storm. But
that did not seem storm-worthy before the game. But I think the way the game played
Yeah.
out, it became
Yeah.
storm-worthy.
I agree with that too. Double OT, big comeback.
No
Travis Hunter gets hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The-
He's out 4 weeks. That guy should be
'Cause
fucking
really-
in prison.
I really think the true, to me, like the true essence of storming the court, I keep saying court, but field, but like it initially probably was like you're just overcome with emotion. Like
Yeah.
the fans were just like, fuck it, let's go. Because it was such a crazy win. So, and then it became this thing of like, do you, don't you? So you're almost thinking about it ahead of time, like you said, which takes all the fun and like the essence of it away. In that moment, they probably weren't thinking. They were probably just thinking like,
Yeah, we
fuck
just
Colorado
double
State.
overtime.
Yeah. So in that sense, it's actually the most pure storming of the field ever. But in the I can get the aftermath of being like, come on, really?
I think it's like, I don't even know how you have a debate about where it's so, yeah, do whatever you want. Whether like college kids have fun, yeah, of course, obviously, do whatever the fuck you want. It doesn't, but like, if you have Christmas every day, then Christmas isn't special either.
Yeah.
Like,
So that is
You're
my
anti?
fear as someone who did.
You're anti?
I'm not anti. I'm do whatever the fuck you want. But like,
It's logic.
it's logical to be like, well, you can't storm every game.
Yeah.
So yeah, I do agree. Like it has to feel special, but I think that did feel like I think that did end up feeling special. Like storm.
Yeah, to an extent. I almost think it would have been fit the mold more of like that team's aura, where you're just like, that was
Yeah,
nothing.
fuck yeah, we
Yeah,
get
right.
no business. But that's
Go listen to
the
some
point
Lil
was
Wayne.
that
Yeah, like,
I
Master
think you're
P's
right.
in the locker room with the Rock right now. Let's go hang out in there.
Yeah, I get that.
I also think when you're doing if you're ESPN, if you're a producer, you can't show them storming. Like just show the mess on the field, because they show the sideline storming. If people aren't throwing themselves over, like people are
Right,
like
if it's a
leaving in
neat,
like
orderly
in a
Yeah,
filing
yeah,
line,
yeah.
and
Well, that was
orderly
going to be
line.
my point too. Is it storm worthy? It's almost like, did the storm happen?
Yes, yeah,
Because
yeah.
then if it did, it is. Because a
Right.
lot of times you see like a half smattering of people, and
Yeah.
it's like, oh, they tried to storm, but a bunch of people on the other side were like, well, this is not really storm worthy.
Yeah.
If everybody goes, that means the collective vibe at the moment was like, holy fucking shit, we did
Right.
it.
When they
also,
show the
college
sideline-
football offers up a walk-off sense.
Yeah.
You know, like football is usually the clock runs out. To be like, boom, we did it. It's just you're overwhelmed and they went. But yeah, that like
they showed the sidelines and it was like everyone like people like texting like no,
getting their chance.
Yeah.
That was our
my
favorite.
turn. My turn.
There was one video once. I don't remember if it was high school or college or what it was, but it was like it was a crowd storming the court, but the court was uneven and everyone fell. Everyone just kept falling.
Oh, do you
Best court storm of all time.
I love the women jumping in the bushes. Remember that?
Yeah.
Auburn, Alabama.
Yeah.
You had like SEC moms jumping off of fucking things into these bushes.
I mean, I feel like baseball used to have great ones, like
Dude,
like Chris Chambliss home run for the Yankees. Hank Aaron was literally got mobbed as he was running the bases.
Imagine running the bases with the home run record. Like, that would be fucking
Carter.
nuts.
Yeah, that was
Joe Carter was
our fear when we did Storm Chasers last year. We were like, what if nobody storms and it's just fucking me, Glenny, and Zod in the middle of the
that was one of
court.
the greatest. Storm Chasers was one of the greatest examples of the Barstool deal with the devil, where it was like 3 out of every 4 was an upset.
You guys only got
Yeah.
one, right?
So we only had one, and then there was another upset where Texas A&M.
They had a run.
Bama,
Maybe I'm thinking of the championships, where they always pick the right championship.
They've had
Early
great
Chasers
success.
did.
Caleb
Okay,
and Rowan
okay, yeah,
had
yeah.
great success. We'd got one last year, but yeah, then SEC schools you just have to avoid because they just had like literally security cops not letting people storm because I think it's like a $500,000 fine for SEC schools.
It also became when you see the yellow slickers and shit, like people are like,
Yeah,
oh, this
yeah,
storm,
yeah.
you know, so we're gonna storm if it happens. I feel like that was part of it as well. But yeah, they had that run where it was like 3 in a row or some shit. I was like, how is this possible? That's Barstool for you though. I do got to commend Jack Mack for drumming up I mean, you would have thought he was being like persecuted for his religious beliefs. He was just like, I will not be silenced. Like I will stick by my. Yeah, is he here? Is Jack Mack here? No, he's probably still, fighting the fight at home.
Last night, working on NFL.
Okay. It was textbook way to like drum up, 2 sides to the fight. Him just continuing to hammer the controversy of it, if you will. And then the last bit we got here from Inside Barstool was Feits jumped in on the Will Compton and Taylor Lewan workout challenge. You see that, Tommy?
No, I saw the screenshot and then I saw your chin from below and I kept scrolling. I saw the start of the video and I was like, what is this? I was like,
Bro,
I'm not
it is-
watching.
I want to see. I haven't seen yours yet. I've seen Taylor and Will. I haven't seen yours.
So they got lucky that they fucking got to do it at the Georgia facility.
Yeah.
It's really hard to film yourself in the gym. It is. I was not happy about it. You can't.
But you're forcing yourself to do this.
Yeah, I know. 'Cause
I'm not happy about it.
Will was like,
Don't do it.
I bet you can't do 105 once. And I was like,
So he did challenge you.
Yeah, I said I'd come and drop like 10 in his eye. He said you can't do it once, and I think I did it 7 or 8. I think I lost it on the 8th.
That's impressive.
Dude, that's wildly impressive.
Filming yourself in the gym, you have to be a different kind of person. Like
You gotta be
you
total
have to
asshole,
be,
yeah.
It's not a great angle to be.
Thank God.
That's not the
God, we didn't
worst
see
thing.
your fucking gooch. There.
There's like I forget what I said, but I was like I look like I'm talking to myself right now, but it's actually way worse. I'm just filming myself for content at the gym, and it was.
Dude,
I think I beat Will. I think I did 8. I forget exactly, to be honest. The video will show.
Did you see Taylor's video?
Taylor did a lot.
Bro. So Will
Taylor is an offensive lineman as of a year ago.
I know, but still, like at 100 pounds, like I watched Will do it, and I was like, wow, damn, like Will's strong. And then Taylor gets up there and he's like,
It did not look like
it was
crazy. I got a little cocky where, again, I forget the number. I think it was 7, and then I started doing Ronnie Coleman, which, R.I.P. Maybe not R.I.P. Is Ronnie Coleman alive or dead?
I don't know. Ronnie Coleman.
You don't know who Ronnie Coleman is?
Yeah, you do. You know Ronnie Coleman.
Where he like.
Ronnie Coleman is like the biggest guy in the world. You know who Ronnie?
Wait.
He's the biggest guy in the world. Oh, you mean physically?
Yeah, he was a Mr. Olympia, I think, around Arnold's time, maybe a little after.
He's alive.
He's alive. Okay.
Yep. That was a reasonable thought, though.
Yeah, I think in one of the famous videos, it probably obviously didn't lead to his death. I think he tore his hamstring, tore his ACL or some shit like that when he's doing the lightweight. And I started doing Ronnie Coleman, and the second I started doing it, I lost it.
You don't know who Ronnie Coleman is, this guy? This big black guy?
Well, they can't show him a picture of him in a suit. You gotta give him the Ronnie Coleman
Yeah, I don't
experience.
know. I'm sure I've probably seen stuff of him, but the name does not ring a bell.
Ronnie Coleman's he's like I would guess lemon party age. He's an old school internet legend.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. He's more the older guys. Let's take some calls. 888-876-6522. While we're getting the calls filled up, got to give a shout out to our girl Lauren Boebert.
Dude.
Is that her name?
Hot.
Lauren Boebert, who is a Republican congresswoman or whatever, who has been on a crusade against drag queens in schools or drag queens around kids. That whole controversy, where I'm like, does that really happen enough that this is a thing? It probably happened like twice, right? But she's on this train about, I guess appropriate behavior, and then she gets caught getting her tits just fucking milked. I mean, this guy was milking her. At a live performance, she's just sitting in the crowd, and he's just fucking.
It looked like he was making pottery. He was just working.
And I think she was on his leg.
Oh yeah, she was doing a little handy stuff.
I was expecting them to be like in the back row.
Right there.
And just in the middle of a full theater.
She's sitting like upright and kind of, they're still like talking. Like it wasn't like it was just like, yeah, you rub my tits and I'll jerk you off.
And watch Beetlejuice.
It's a regional production of Beetlejuice. It's unbelievable.
Just the phrase regional production of Beetlejuice is so fucking funny.
Dude,
like,
if you like anyone who's passing judgment on Lauren Boebert, you haven't been fucking horned up.
At a regional production of Beetlejuice.
Who amongst us hasn't gotten a little horny at a regional production of Beetlejuice?
Come on, bro. You see that? I actually don't even know the story of Beetlejuice.
The Lions fan. Oh, the Lions fan. Okay, that's a good debate. Who's hornier? The guy who's getting jerked off and rubbing titties at the regional production of Beetlejuice, or the Lions fan who I will say, in defense of the Lions fan, I think the over-the-shoulder text snipe is one of the most fucked up things you can do to a person.
Dude, everyone should have a privacy
one might
screen.
Feitelberg's
this one is so
aggressive.
Where like I almost could see like, hey, do this, it'll go viral. Sit in front of me, like. Well, I'll.
I mean, they just do a little square play, no?
If they did, it was a very good, like, they towed the line well. If they did, I'm trying to find. I know Big Cat quote tweeted. Oh, well, I can't see the screen. I'm going blind. But to be like, I want you to.
Do you want to be the girl?
Sure.
Oh yeah,
I'll
that's
be the girl.
good.
I'll be the
That's
girl.
good.
Or,
Put it back on the screen.
Okay. Wait, you're the girl?
oh, who's the girl? I'd love to be the girl.
All right. Tommy, you go with it, baby.
Give me a few. I'm going home after this.
Okay.
I feel like he was probably more.
I don't think so. I don't think, dude. Okay, that's all you can give to that.
Then
She just, I'm going home.
Fair. Then I'm fingering myself for a while. You've got my pussy throbbing.
If you can't squirt, then just video you.
All right.
It's easy.
Why
did we do that again?
Let me just say this.
I feel like I'm at a regional performance of Beetlejuice.
I was going to say,
I'm all horned up.
the full text is, if you can't squirt, then just video you pissing.
Wait, it says that?
Yes, you read where he was typing it out. The full text that he sent is, if you can't squirt, just video you.
Oh my God, I didn't see that.
And he said, oh, I'm squirting. And then he said, I want you to piss on my hard cock. Bro, never.
I didn't see that. Dude.
Never in the history of texting has there been a funnier phrase than, if you can't squirt, just video.
You can't squirt, just chug a bunch of water. Get some electrolytes in you. If you can't squirt, just go number one.
Dude,
Take a little tinkle.
Can you imagine this girl being like, okay, let's do this, and it's like, shit, it's not working. I'm just gonna piss.
You think you're about to get fucking hot hot video in the bedroom, and it's just some chicken up over the potty. I don't know. Sorry.
That is so good. That is criminally horny. To be so horny that you're like, I just need to see something squirting. If you got it.
If you're not hydrated, just go run the hose.
I just need a liquid coming out of you. I don't care what it is.
That is so fucking funny. Okay, let's get to calls. Let's go to Colin in Connecticut. What's up, Colin? Colin, you there, bud?
Can you hear me, guys?
Yes, sir. What you got?
All right, how you doing?
Good, man.
I just wanted to see how you guys are liking getting back into Barstool Radio, and then also this might be something you can't predict, but since everything's reactionary, like, is there something that you're looking forward to in the sports world, media world, that you want to talk about on Barstool Radio in the future?
That's a good question. I feel like I always used to say this about the old internet, the old days of blogging, because I would have days where I was like, today's the day there's just going to be nothing funny on the internet, and what am I going to blog? I've got to write like 10 or 12 of these things, and like one of these days there's just not going to be a mugshot and a viral video and a hot girl and a big sports story, and every fucking day the internet delivered enough. And I feel like that's Barstool as well. Like we came out of the gates super hot because of the sale and all that shit, and then it was like, well, when that ends, what next? And there's just been something every day.
We have lost the Mean Girls, which is gonna
it's gonna hurt. Yeah. Today dragged a little bit. I was actually gonna say that we made it through a whole show without mentioning the Mean Girls. Let me ruin that.
No.
But I do think the big part of this gig, and the reason why it's got to be live when we were having that whole argument over the start times of the show, it has to be live because it's like a reactionary show. It's not just like a podcast with a list of topics. It is like what's going on this day, what happened this weekend. So everything is kind of reactionary, and you can't plan ahead. I mean, like, Barstool Radio will be awesome the day after the Super Bowl if somebody's team's in it and they lose. I can't wait for that, but we don't know if that's gonna happen.
I'd love for there to be like a fist fight in the office one day.
That would be
if
great.
we could plan for that.
You know, we just need some real violence. We haven't had that yet. You know, some true blue, not pushing and throwing things. Someone to get a fucking
punches.
A punch. The thing you get fired now. That's the thing.
I don't know.
I think you gotta.
I think it's a case by case basis.
You're probably right, but I think if anyone ever like throws a real like connection.
But what if it's in defense of like honor?
That's true. That is different. But if it's
classic in defense of honor.
Yeah. You can't.
He activated the defensive honor clause. There's really nothing I can do here.
As far as I think the vibes here, when people were like, "Oh, Barstool Radio's back," like, yes, I remember being like, "You're not gonna like this," trust me. But I think we've done a good job of like, we don't let shit slide, but you're also not getting like completely fucking. If Dave's on, he's gonna fucking do whatever he wants. He can massacre you.
Yeah, there's no one here who's mean with ease. So.
No, bro, mean with ease was one of the most poetic things I've ever heard. It came out of his mouth effortlessly. He's just like, I'm just mean with ease. Like, he had that one almost ready to go. It is. I find it a lot harder to just be like, let's talk about this video of you that you made that like is a fucking problem. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
As I'm like, it's really gonna open the door and it's gonna cause a lot of problems for you. But I feel like I have done more than I ordinarily would. Like my old role at Barstool Radio, I was like, I
the
pretty
defender
much,
of.
yes. Yeah. Like no matter who they were, even if I just was like vehemently disagreed with them, I would always try to throw them a lifeline because they would just be getting throttled by Dave. And so I would just do anything to try to help them. Now this is like, we all gotta, play that role a little bit. But it's 4 days a week of just, monster numbers and a lot of controversy, and a lot of calls. It's a fucking wild one. Let's go to Loverboy in California. What's up, man?
Loverboy.
Loverboy. Yeah. Loverboy, you there?
Hello.
What's up, man?
Is that me or some female?
That is
That was Feits.
long time no speak, man. What's up?
Bro, I love you. Miss CCK, shout out to the other members. I'll keep that going. Feits, nice to speak to you. I think you guys crushed it on the Babcock skit. I love how quick you're turning that shit out. Kev, I miss talking to you. I miss Dylan. I miss everything. I love Barstool Radio being back.
Man, that's why we do it, dude. Dylan's been calling in, so if you keep listening, you'll hear from Dominican Dylan.
I listen. You also gave the wrong phone number out at the beginning, but all good.
I don't know. Fucking go to the social media and see the number there. Thanks for the call, lover boy. Also,
what is that from?
Why, I don't know. Why are you making me do? Is that a fetish for you?
yeah, that and piss.
Yeah.
do people like the DeMar Hamlin skit?
Yeah.
Knew it.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe when you guys were thinking about cutting that. That was crazy.
What is that fucking Loverboy from? It's a Patrick Swayze movie.
Patrick Swayze movie.
Loverboy.
I don't know.
Come on, man. Someone's got to know the Dirty Dancing. There it is.
Okay. Brian in Dallas. What's up, Brian? Oh, you're having yourself a time now, I bet.
What's up, fellas? I just want to make sure I'm on. Y'all hear me?
Yeah, you're here.
Yeah, look, I'm 31 years old. I'm going to preface this by saying the Cowboys haven't won shit since I was 2 years old, so this is not a victory lap. I've seen this movie before. I just want to know, State of the Union address, since we have Jets and Giants fans on the radio. I just want to know, State of the Union, do y'all think the Cowboys are actually decent, or do you think we just caught y'all at the right time?
I think the Cowboys are before the season, they were my Super Bowl pick, to get to the Super Bowl. I think they're very good.
I am not a football scout by any means. That was a very good team. I mean, the Jets defense is a very good defense. They shit the bed yesterday and didn't show up, but also you got to tip your cap to the other team as well. I mean, CeeDee Lamb had like 160 yards or some shit on Sauce Gardner. He has had a very slow start this year, but that's he's going to be a very, very good back for a long time, and he just got eaten alive. They were marching on that defense all day.
Yeah, their only issue. I mean, Mike McCarthy's an idiot, but I think Dak Prescott's
is he?
Yeah.
Why?
He's just
Mike McCarthy was Aaron Rodgers' scapegoat.
Go on.
I don't know. Everyone's always blamed Mike McCarthy, and maybe Aaron Rodgers can't get it.
I mean, then they got rid of him. They replaced him, and they started winning like 13 games again.
Oh yeah, how many Super Bowls? That was always the playoffs. Is what they blame Mike McCarthy.
No, the last few years they didn't even go to the playoffs with him.
I mean, they made the playoffs 99% of the time. Then.
No, that's not true. Not 99% of the time. Like 85.
It is weird. I know Ryan Whitney.
Who else won the NFC North? Well, the Vikings won it one year.
Their Vikings won it one. Lions, obviously not. The Bears won it that year when they went to.
Oh yeah, they had Rex Grossman.
Double doing.
I know. Whitney said the NHL is the biggest carousel of ex-coaches just getting rehired, but the NFL is pretty damn close.
It's crazy.
It's like
once you get fired, you should be able to be a head coach ever again.
Or at least
one
like
shot.
a little
second chance.
That obviously makes a lot of sense coming from a Bill Belichick fan.
Two chances, but you have to have like a couple of years in between. You can't go from like being like the fan base is being like, that guy should kill himself, and another team's like, we got a shiny new coach.
Yeah. But I think there are genuinely times where like coach's voice just like falls on dead ears
that
after a while, and like they're still a good coach. But
that is true.
Yeah.
But
Bruce Cassidy,
boy,
for example.
it is like, come on. They beat the fuck out of the Giants, and they beat the shit out of the Jets. I mean, Dallas can say whatever they want to New York. They dominated them. And the Jets, man, listen. The Jets yesterday were terrible. The offensive line is worse than I even thought, and Micah Parsons just like devoured them, ate them for lunch. Sauce Gardner was terrible. CeeDee Lamb had his way. All that is true, for sure. Defense did not show up. But the Zach Wilson apologists it's crazy.
So you're fully on like they need to get another quarterback.
Yes.
But who?
Dude, I don't know. But he is. It's
Winston,
his year 3. Honestly, yes, I would rather that.
Like literally, I think is maybe the best option.
What about I think Gardner Minshew when he
Well, now though, if he's hurt,
oh yeah,
or the Anthony Richardson got hurt.
How
so he might
about
just have to start for the Colts?
Who was the dude? Who's starting for the Redskins right now?
Sam Howell.
The dude before him.
Carson Wentz was last year. Oh, Taylor Heineke?
Yeah, Heineke. What's up? He was.
Where did he end up, Nate? Atlanta?
I don't know. Like, there's just a couple guys. Like, I'd try fucking any of this shit.
Yeah.
I mean, Zach Wilson's on year 3, and I know, yes, you could put anybody out there, as we saw, and that offensive line is not going to let you win football games. But, like, we're still doing the same old, like, no, Zach looked good out there. He had 3 picks, and he threw for like 170 yards, one of which was a 65-yard touchdown that Garrett Wilson had all the yards after the catch. He had like 100 yards and 3 picks, and the fan base is like, Zach looked good. What?
What? That was always my argument with, or like Daniel Jones for a while, like Giants fans would be like, well, he's not the reason they lost.
Right.
Like, okay, but eventually you have to be the reason that you win.
Yeah.
And yesterday he was that, and he has kind of become more of that. But I was always frustrated with that, where it's like, well, just not being the reason you lose isn't good enough.
Right.
I feel like Mac Jones is almost getting in that territory now. I feel like people are saying that a lot about Mac Jones. Like, he's not the reason. I still think Mac Jones could be good, but
I mean, it's kind of a similar thing where like a garbage interception in the red zone kind of turned the game, but I don't know.
It's just like, yes, there were other parts of the team that were worse than him yesterday, but that's not enough.
You should get one start against not maybe the best defense in the NFL.
True, but again, it's not like it's his rookie year. You know what I mean? Like we've seen a lot of this.
Did I overhear Romo correctly? I was half watching the game. On the first drive, he said that this could define the game right here, Jim.
I was watching the Giants. I don't know.
It was like a 3rd and 2 for the Cowboys.
That's
He's
funny.
like, this could define the game right here. I looked up. I was like, there's 13 minutes left in the first quarter. What are you talking about?
Let's go to, we got to do it. Troy in Saskatoon. What's up, Troy?
How's it going, guys?
Good, man. What's up?
I wanted to talk about, now that kind of everything's come to light about Babcock, one thing that gets overlooked a lot in this story is after he got fired by the Leafs, it was like unemployed in the NHL for a couple years, but where he actually came, he was the coach of our Canadian university team here in Saskatoon. And I remember when Biz and Wick kind of first started talking about this, you guys had Pat on, and he was like, man, it seems like there's something weird kind of going on with him, like he's got a weird fetish. And I looked into it. When he became the coach of the Huskies, like the terminology was a volunteer basis coach. And I think that just brings it even more, like, there's got to be something more going on if you're coming to coach college kids on a volunteer basis. Things kind of fucked up.
Yeah, when the whole scandal first broke, I thought it was about power. And then when I heard like one of the kids was an 18-year-old prospect and he was looking through his pictures, I was like, this has a whole other feeling to it now. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's a voyeurism thing, sexual thing, whatever. I was just like, that's a grown man asking a teenage boy to show me his pictures.
When you phrase it that way, like, there's no defending.
Right. I mean, and because that's what it is. Yeah, there's a player-coach element to it, but at its most basic form, it's a grown man asking a teenage boy for pictures.
It's also like, what picture could you find that would have any effect on, like, his hockey playing ability?
Yeah, well, that's the other thing. It's like, I was like building, rapport. It's like.
Dude, like, I don't let my best friends go through my pictures. Not that I have anything. I think anyone who has like pictures in their pictures is a weirdo.
But it's just like,
it keeps.
Like, why did you screenshot that one tweet? I don't know. I thought it was kind of funny. Like, there's little things like that, which I don't feel like explaining that to people.
Yeah, no, that's why the Babcock kid is funny, because it's like sometimes it's the not sexual stuff in your phone. But I think the reason why this became a thing that spread so quick is almost everybody knows that feeling of when someone has your phone.
Whoa, what are you doing?
So like everyone can relate to that. Let's go.
Volunteer coaching is hilarious.
That is crazy.
I guess you got to do something to get back to coaching. Like, you can't just not coach. But like, I don't know why.
Gotta be around these kids.
Can you pay me? Like, no.
I'll come.
All right.
Joe in Madison. What's up, Joe?
Hey, this question is kind of for Feits because he's the hockey guy. Since the center came out in defense of Babcock, does he lose the locker room? I mean, I guess hypothetically, say Aaron Boone did some nefarious shit and Judge or Stanton.
Yeah.
No, I don't wish it, but just New York guys. So if he did some nefarious shit and Judge and Stanton kind of backed him, and then he came out to be a lie, do you think they lose the locker room? And also, real quick, Fights, thank you for that Chris Hansen skit. Whenever I'm a little down and I need a laugh, I watch it like twice a week. Funniest thing on the internet, so thank you.
Twice a week. Funniest thing on the internet. Let's go, Joe. That skit is very funny.
This guy didn't lie, right, Boone?
No,
He just said he was okay with
also,
it.
pretty much everybody. It's one of those common sense thing where it's just like he got put in an impossible spot.
Yeah.
So.
I guess maybe some people would be mad, the people who like actually had their phones going through it. But you may be a little upset, but like, it's logical. I get it.
Yeah, I think now that's what I was saying when this all broke. I was like, that guy was clearly told to put that statement out, and if once it became like a national story, if that was me, I would have been like, I was told to put that out. I am no longer. Now I'm speaking for myself, because you can get put in a spot where you're being.
But like, I wouldn't even make that statement. Like, you guys obviously know. Like, the upper management was like, say this, and I just said it so I can keep my job.
Like that's fully.
I'm not here to be a fucking martyr. I'm here to.
I'm not a hero, and I never will.
Right.
I will never take a stand.
Someone was waiting on the line and had a call about crooked media, but they hung up.
I'd love to hear from them.
I was gonna say, I was gonna put you on next, so if you want to call back in real quick.
Oh, wait, they mean like the crooked media as a whole?
Like
or
MSNBC?
No, I thought they meant crooked media, like Pod Save, those guys.
I was gonna say, I've heard of crooked. That's Pod Save.
Yeah.
I'm curious now. Now you got to call back in.
So call back crooked media guy.
It was on Pod Save.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know what the question was then.
Let's go to Carolyn in Birmingham.
Hi guys, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
Good. First, I just wanted to tell Tommy, good job. I know Pat Bev was giving you kind of some flack for not really speaking up, and you've done great this episode.
Thank you. Yeah, Pat Bev, me and Pat Bev, we have our thing. We go back and forth.
Yeah.
It's PB, it's whatever.
So, I'm really proud of you this episode. You really killed it.
Thank you, Carolyn.
But back to when y'all were talking about fighting, and I know this has kind of been done and talked about, but Tommy, you in the bar fighting, I have to know now that it's been a little bit time. Was that staged?
No.
You can admit it now.
I would admit it now. I swear it was real. And I understand it looks fake. And I
don't think it even
it looks fake because of who I am. Like, I understand that it looks fake. It's like,
I mean, it looks exactly like Tommy Smokes throwing a punch.
I think you got a good punch. I think it looks. The only reason anyone would think it was fake is because it looks like you got a good punch.
Right. Like, I understand. It's like, that must be fake. Like, Tommy, punched a person. Like, there's no way he would do that. What?
Was that your first fight?
Yeah, it was my first fight, and hopefully only fight.
You didn't get like a rush?
Do you guys think it was real? Y'all both think it was real, or y'all think it was fake?
I know it was real. I'm sitting next to the man right here.
Yeah, I would have owned up. I would have owned up to it by now. I know I have a history of some, some stunts, but I would have owned up to it by now.
I
think it's real because I don't think it's actually is that great of a punch. Like if you
is it not?
If you threw like a real,
that's a solid punch.
I also have like I would have had like the girl then like start making out with me right after. Like, you're my fucking hero.
All right, one last call here to see if Crooked Media guy will call back, but if not, Nico in Canada. What's up, Nico?
Dude, shout out Canada.
Hey boys, how's it going?
Good, man. What's good?
I've been a fan of Barstool content for a while, but more recently, I've actually enjoyed learning about Barstool, the business. So with that, kind of got me thinking, does Barstool plan on covering more of like domestic soccer news? I know you do a bit in the Prem, but I mean, Messi, quite possibly the greatest soccer player ever, is playing in the MLS right now. And in 2026, you guys are hosting the World Cup. So any plans on more soccer content?
I will say this. I think Messi has made me change a long-standing take of mine that I just was like, soccer will just never really fully work in America. And he came in and was such a fucking force right away, where it was like the numbers that were being thrown around, ticket sales and attendance and people going to the games and how he was playing. I was like, You get a few more of these, it'll happen.
I think it would work if we just had better players.
Yeah.
Like if all the guys that play in the Premier League or whatever, Juventus, that's the thing, right?
Yeah.
Juventus. They were just in the MLS. Then yeah, I think it'd be big, but
The Serie A is a pretty heavy defense league, so I don't know how much it would.
well, yeah.
Yeah, you know.
Of
course.
everybody knows that. I used to think that even it's just like not the sport for us, but like Messi was a he made MLS I was like checking MLS scores.
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy. So if he can move the needle that much.
But did you see him this weekend?
But also, there's only one Messi.
Right, but if you get a couple more of like the next, if there's a few of those.
But would you start checking MLS scores for
No, but I think that it would be enough that like the league, I will always just be a casual soccer fan. I'll never be really into it. But if there are fans of soccer in America who are like, the MLS sucks, but all of a sudden it didn't because there was enough.
Mbappe.
Even if everybody knows Mbappe.
I think as far as MLS players go, I think very few even go to represent their country at the Olympics or World Cup or anything like that. It's not even like
they're not even good enough to do that.
Yeah, there are 15 players from their country that are better than them, or however many players are on a soccer team.
Wait, say that again?
I don't think there are many MLS players who represent their country.
Got it.
I think it's pretty few and far between there. The Messi thing though, this weekend they played Atlanta with playoffs weren't on the line, but it would have been pretty helpful for Inter Miami to win that game.
Yeah.
And Messi just didn't play because it's on turf. And Messi's contract is crazy.
I just don't have to play.
Yeah, I think he plays again in Charlotte for the last game of the season, and if the playoffs are on the line, I think he might play that game.
Did he join them mid-season?
Yeah. That's why that tournament they won. I thought that was the playoffs. That tournament they won the whatever cup that they were dead last, and then they came and they won the mid-season tournament. Even that feels like he's coming not wholly. He's not coming full bore. You're I'm not gonna play. Which I get. He's a 35-year-old with bad ACL. You see what does the ligaments in football.
Right.
He's I'm not gonna play on turf.
But isn't that so telling of the whole turf? To go back to the turf thing, where a guy like that will just not play.
Yeah. I'll miss the playoffs. I don't give a shit.
Why don't we just get rid of turf?
As I understand it, is the owners don't think it makes fiscal sense to.
So turf is cheaper?
What it does is it allows
you to do
the stadium
concerts
to do
and all that
things.
sort of shit. But I think if you get heavy duty state of the art, you can, I don't know.
But we've said with soccer, they fucking switch fields.
Right.
Put a different field up for the
right.
Right.
But that costs, I think,
I'm sure
$100 million.
it costs
That's
$100 million. But
the same thing you always do. Jack the price up on tickets and make the fucking, make the fans pay for it.
$24.
Right.
He mentioned the World Cup. The World Cup's crazy. We're not hosting the World Cup. It's insane.
What do you mean?
We are hosting the World Cup.
But North America is. It's in LA. It's in fucking New York. It's in Gillette. It's fucking in Toronto. It's in New Mexico City.
We live in New York.
It's the I guess yes, New York. But it's crazy to say.
I thought it was the country, but it's also Canada and Mexico.
Yeah, North America is hosting the World
weird.
Cup. It's you think about the Olympics.
Aren't the finals though in the Meadowlands, or am I making that up?
I think you're making that up. I could definitely be wrong.
There's I think there's a pretty
that will be
late
wild.
round at MetLife. I think.
I think I don't know for sure. I know there are certainly rounds around here. I don't know where the final is.
Or actually that might not be decided yet, but it's in the running or something.
Yeah.
Dallas leading over New York and Los Angeles, but no official decision yet for where the final is.
They're in the mix. That's interesting.
But it's so far away. I feel I'm curious to see even what kind of. I'm sure there'll be a ton of juice as far as people coming, but what kind of feel the city will have. Will it feel like the World Cup's here?
So when the Super Bowl was here, did you feel like the Super Bowl was here?
I don't really remember.
I went to one event in Times Square.
The Javits Center had some shit.
Yeah.
But, New York is kind of
there's just so much going on. But also the fact that it's just not actually in New York hurts.
Yeah.
But New York is one of those things where if you have it in a small city or a slow city,
right? Everything shuts down.
You can tell, yeah.
But that's the Olympic Village. I don't think there ever is a World Cup village, but I don't think there was. Remember in Qatar just now, they're all the fucking
that's where they put dead
crates.
bodies.
Yeah. I wonder if will we get any of that? I mean, a 5-hour flight to another game.
Yeah, that's what's weird.
It's
when
very
it's
weird
across
how-
a big
how-
country
yeah.
rather than like a tight little area. Last thing I wanted to touch upon, I wanted to bring it up early. Maybe we can dive into it more tomorrow in depth. But you see what's going on with Stephen A. and Max Kellerman?
No.
Yeah.
Actually, very interesting.
I saw the Stephen A. clip.
Yeah, Stephen A. went on the Joe Budden podcast and was like really blunt and was like, I just didn't like working with the dude, which that part was okay. And then he goes on to be like, I have a higher Q rating than him. I have more followers than him. By every metric that you can measure, I have, we were worlds apart on cachet. So why would I sit here on this show and share it with you when you can't even compare it to me in terms of cachet? So like it was just done. I haven't talked to him since. And he kept being like, it's not like beef or anything, but then also just like putting it down.
You are nothing.
Right. So and then T.O., there was that clip of T.O. back during like the Black Lives Matter movement where T.O. said Max Kellerman is blacker than you are, and Stephen A. Smith got all upset about that. So then when this latest thing happened and he was putting down Max kind of like out of nowhere, a lot of people were saying like the reason you don't like Max Kellerman is because of that whole event. So T.O. started tweeting at him and they're going back and forth. So it was just, it's a weird, I think it's actually just a more interesting moment for Max Kellerman where like he kind of has this groundswell of people being like, Max Kellerman's actually like he never really fully like made it. I mean, he did, but in terms of
I thought he
level.
sucked at that. I thought everything like looked so fake with him.
With Max or
like I'd never believed anything he was saying. Like obviously the Brady clip is his biggest clip.
Oh yeah,
like,
that was.
Like even when he said that, like he almost had like a smirk.
You could tell he didn't believe.
Where he would have a smirk where it's like
Yeah.
I don't fucking think this.
Skip Bayless is like Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah.
Those two just need to get back together. Like
it really is.
Skip Bayless every day he's more or less yelling at Stephen A. Stephen A. every day is more or less.
They're just on different shows.
Yeah, Shannon Shaw. Like just let's get those two back together.
Yeah, that was interesting though. I mean, Stephen A. like backtracked and was like, he was like the truth will come out, but you're right. Like I don't want to argue on Twitter anymore, so I'll back down. But T.O. was like, don't back down now. So they're going. I mean, he threatened T.O. to be like, I'm going to expose you, and T.O. was like, expose me for fucking what?
Yeah.
Go do whatever you want.
He's like, I'm Terrell
T.O.
Owens. Dude.
Yeah, it's like nobody gives a fuck. So
Shoot a guy
something
on Fifth Ave.
interesting to keep your eye on in the sports media world because I've never heard somebody speak that kind of openly and candidly about like.
I mean, I thought what he said kind of made sense where he was like, I was at my peak. I think he felt that he was going to become number 2 and he could hear the hooves or whatever you call it. And he was like, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
Which I get to an extent where you're like, this guy, he can't even make Tommy and John believe he believes this.
Yeah.
How fucking further are we going to go?
I never had a problem. I mean.
I also watched very little.
I only saw like the clips of his hottest takes, and those ones it was like, dude, you don't believe what you're saying. Why should I as the viewer believe that? Like it's him being like.
I kind of forgot about him being like a hot take artist because I always thought of him as like he kind of like he was very knowledgeable about boxing and he usually kind of like stayed in his lane. But then I remember the.
He would just say,
I don't know though. There was a time.
I think that Tom Brady's gonna stink. All right, dude.
I mean, listen. I fell victim to it many times where there was a period of people being like, it's over for Tom. It's got to be over. This is it. This is the one.
But that's why it's so easy to say believably. And
he
Kellerman
couldn't do it then.
Kellerman did. Excuse me. I can't think. No other ones don't come to mind. But there are ones that were worse than that. Not worse predictions, but like he looked worse saying it. Where I can see Stephen A. being like, this dude, this isn't gonna fucking.
It's not on my level.
Yeah. What's that?
Yeah, I want Iguodala.
Oh yes.
What was that one?
Which that's another thing where like I think even the statistic like he had
Everything Meek
statistics,
says makes me laugh.
like it was like it was when the Warriors were the Warriors and it was like who do you want to have the last shot? It's like
oh yeah.
It's like if I got Iguodala.
Do we have the Meek Phil Quigsadala clip queued up? That's a classic one.
I don't have it on my phone. Quigs probably does.
What was it?
It's like some clip of just Meek Phil being like, I want Quigsadala. I don't know what it's from or why it was
I don't think anyone has ever played their cards better than Meek Phil in these last few weeks. And not intentionally. Not like he's doing it on purpose.
No.
He's just Meek the Freak who's just stumbling his way through Barstool Radio. Now he's on Dave's radar. He's about this close to becoming a Team Portnoy guy.
He might be like a Greg from Succession rise.
Yeah, that's a great comparison. You're Greg the Egg, Meek the Freak. Next thing you know, you're going to have your own show. Who knows? All right, that's it for us. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Wait, is this the Crooked Media guy? Last second call? Whoever's on the line, what's up? Cal, is that you?
Is it me again?
What's up, Cal?
Kev, you got me or no?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, who is it?
All right, no, it's Loverboy. It's
Oh.
Loverboy again.
Oh.
I was just trying. Loverboy. I was trying to. I saw the rerun on it after I got off. I was trying to clear this up. Kev, I don't know if you remember. Somehow you got called Loverboy, and I called in to make a comment on you being called Loverboy.
Yes, but
And I
now,
said,
but
"What
now
up,
you're Loverboy.
And
Now
right,
you're
and
now you're
how
Loverboy.
Zah
That's how it
when
goes.
Zah was running the ones and twos,
Yes.
it was no longer Cali Mike. That's how the name came.
Right,
But
but now
shout out to
you
Patrick
are
Swayze.
Loverboy, and anytime you call in these two,
Now
go.
I am.
All right, that's it. We'll see you guys tomorrow at noon.
Today I'm not here to have fun. Today I'm here to win.
Let's shock the world! Oh, yeah! That's a great fucking shot!
The money, man!
Start eating it. Come on.
Come on! Get going. Nice putt.
That's what we do! Let's fucking go.
Come on!
Let's go.
That's what we do, baby. Full disclosure, I have no idea where the shot's gonna go.
Thank you.
Get out of the sand, Dave.
Kirk, you started this.
I started. Is that where we're at now?
This is the X factor we needed.
Go in the hole. Go in the hole.
It's warfare. Playing for money.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Come back from me! What you talking about? That's my partner!
Two biggest fucking losers of the company. They started talking shit. I'm just better at it. Big shot.
Danny boy!
Big players, big moments.
Oh!
He's mentally weak. He's falling apart.
Boy, like that one, middle.
Oh, the teams! Let's fucking go!
It's a team fucking win.
No one believes in us. Fucking choke job!
It's just unfair.
You're making me into the villain.
He misses this as a disaster.
The fuck, dude? What team are you on?
We got the whole team in shambles, baby.
Dave! Dave!
He went. That's for camera. I won't do that to him.
Fuck you! Fuck you, motherfucker!
Don't take your shitty golf play out on me, player.
Yeah! Yes! What? That's what I'm talking about.
Love this game we call golf.